I'm Quentin D'Souza and this is Get Real Wealthy. On this episode, we're going to talk about how to guarantee rental profits.
Creating wealth, freedom, and security using real estate investing. This is Get Real Wealthy.
So, you've purchased your cash flow positive property and put long-term debt on it. You need to decide on how much to charge for rent. If you got this wrong, you could have months of vacancy and your profitable investment could become a big loss. There's only one rental price, and that's the right price. When you are setting the rental price, you need to consider what are the benefits of the property location, what are the features of the property in order to highlight this to potential tenants. If your investment property remains empty despite the properties around you being rented, then it could be that you set too high of a rent or too low. Let me give you an example. If your rent is too high, prospective tenants won't even give your property a first look, never mind a second look. On the other hand, if you've invested in a property that has a great location, setting the rental price too low could put off prospective tenants. They'll naturally assume that there's something wrong with the property. Otherwise, why would you be prepared to accept the rental income so far below average? What ends up happening is you also get a lower quality tenant. If you can set the right price, you'll reduce months of vacancy. The additional months of vacancy can offset any increased rent that you may have wanted to achieve. Have you ever been to a market and wondered why some fruit stands were super busy while there was one that was empty? Most likely that the fruit was priced wrongly. There's a reason why many goods are priced around the same level in a specific area, because that's the price the market is willing to pay. It's competitive and it's a price that gives the seller a reasonable profit. Being competitive in rental pricing is a key to keep vacancy at a minimum. There's work involved in remaining competitive, particularly in Ontario, where there is a rent-controlled environment, especially when you have a unit that is going back to the rental market and was previously rented. It's important to do your due diligence and use tools like rentometer.com and doorinsight.com that help you define what the average rent is for a property in a given area. You can also look on different rental websites to see what is currently available in the area and what they're renting at. For example, Kijiji, Craigslist, or different Facebook Marketplace are all examples in our area where you can find that. This will help you to know the price at which to set your rent for your property. Setting the right rent will make your profit on your rental income. The goals that you want to achieve from your property investment won't be the same as another investor. However, whatever your goals, for most investors, rental income should cover the cost of their expenses, mortgage, insurance, maintenance, etc. And you should be looking to pocket at least a couple $100, or let's say 10% of your gross income every month in addition to those expenses. There's one caveat here. Usually, the first few years are the hardest. This is when you're stabilizing your property investment and the property value is starting to go up. As the value of the property increases, you should see increases in the rent, particularly as the unit turns over. Many investors buy property knowing that they won't be very profitable in the first few years. The payoff in increasing rental income comes after a few years, and they continue to increase the value of the property and the property rents increase. As long as you keep the rents competitive, you're also keeping the value of the property as high as possible if you choose to sell that asset with the tenants. What affects the rent that you can charge? Well, there may be rules that are provincial or state that are specific, But this could also be overriding influences, such as the economy or property-specific factors, such as the type of appliances that are available at the property. Wherever you invest, you'll want to invest in a location that benefits from a good local economy that supports your investment. But if the wider economy is weak, your rental prices could actually improve because people can't afford to buy, so they turn to rental properties. Wherever your investment property is located, there is one economic rule that dictates the rent that you can charge: the rule of supply and demand. Where demand for rental properties is higher, the rent you can charge will be higher. Property-specific factors affect the rental potential. If you're looking to establish a competitive rental price for your property, you should compare that to other similar properties and bedroom mixes as your property. If you have a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment in a given area, you should look at other similar 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartments in that area. In addition to that, you should see specific benefits that your property has that others don't. And that way you can share that with prospective tenants. For example, does the kitchen have the latest appliances? Is the floor easily cleaned? Does the layout of the floor plan, is it modern or is it traditional, like modern open concept or traditional? Does the property have outside space or attractive views? Is it a basement apartment? Is there a top floor? Is it a single family house? Is there an elevator? Are there stairs to get to units? Is it going to be rented or furnished or unfurnished? Are there any additional amenities in the area or additional utilities that are included into the property? Maybe gas and water is included. Maybe internet is included. All of those things can help the potential to have an increased rent. If you're thinking about renting out a property, I'd encourage you to pick up the Property Management Toolbox and the Filling Vacancies Toolbox from Amazon. I will see you on the next episode of Get Real Wealthy.
Make sure to check out getrealwealthy.com.
Until next time, I'm Quentin D'Souza. Get out there and take action.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are provided for information purposes only and should not be construed as an offer to buy or sell any securities or to make or consider an investment course of action. For more information, go to getrealwealthy.com.